All right, so check this out. I'm going to dive right in because I don't have much time. Right now, the internet is buzzing about the exchange between Floyd Mayweather and Bill Haney. I'm sure you've seen it already, so there's no need for me to rehash that. I'm just going to give you my take on it. So, before I give you my take on it, I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane because I feel like some people are automatically jumping in and I hear people's takes on it, but some people are fair weather boxing fans and they haven't been following boxing from the beginning. I will say that I was a diehard Floyd Mayweather fan because I appreciate skill. I'm not talking about outside the ring. I'm not talking about the personality. Sometimes I do think that Floyd can be a little self-centered, and when he's in a room, all the energy has to go towards him. But that doesn't take away from his ability as a fighter and what he's accomplished in the ring. And there are some people trying to spin the narrative like, oh, Bill Haney gave it to Floyd or he checked Floyd. And I found it embarrassing, but I'll give you my take on that a little bit later. First, I want to take you back down memory lane, though. So with that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a video. So this video appears courtesy of Ellie Setback. So let me just pull this video up. It's an older video. So this was after Devin Haney did some sparring in the gym. So subscribe to Ellie Setback, ES News, by the way. And salute to Ellie. Ellie's a real one. So here's what Floyd had to say after he observed Devin's sparring for the day.
That's why I was able to last so long in the sport of boxing, because the main thing that I learned early on and what these fighters don't do, that I see a lot of fighters are flat-footed. No fighter is like old school. One thing they need to know is being on the pivot. That was one of the key things my father taught me from the beginning, was being on the pivot to be able to make certain moves. And today, only thing we got to work on with him is when the guy is super aggressive, just stay right there and catch his shots. Sometimes tie the guy up and spin the guy. But in the doghouse, it's kind of different. But only thing we want is the best from this young man, and he's going to be A-OK. I knew him. I've been knowing him for many years. I knew his father, Bill, for a lot of years, and my father's working with him. And the chemistry, just with me working with him, when I was working with him in the doghouse and seeing the things that he was doing, he's going to be an unbelievable professional. And the ultimate goal is I want this kid to be able to break my record. Of course, we know all the records that I broke, all I've been doing as of lately is breaking my own records. And I don't need to talk about myself because everyone.
So, yeah, I get Floyd has the tendency to, when he's speaking about others, or even if it's Gervonta Tank Davis, bring it back to himself. But you got to realize he is the GOAT in terms of pay-per-view buys. Even if you don't want to give him GOAT in the ring, he's the #1 pay-per-view attraction. And Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya are the reasons why welterweights can break 1 million pay-per-view buys. At the time, it was only the heavyweights doing numbers. Only heavyweights were moving units. It was Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather, a big reason why the little men were able to step up and become the faces of boxing. Remember, that's why the pound-for-pound list was created, because heavyweights got all the shine. Heavyweights still get all the shine. Heavyweights still get all the money. But Floyd Mayweather kind of changed that up along with Oscar De La Hoya. So you got to give these two guys their props. They were two major superstars. At first, it was Oscar, but then Floyd beat Oscar, and then he took over the mantle, and then he smashed it by setting numerous pay-per-view records. So Floyd did change the game, and you got to give that to Floyd. But in that clip, you saw Floyd saying, when a guy's being aggressive, I need him to catch the shots, know when to tie up, know when to pivot, right? What happened with Ryan Garcia? He couldn't do those things. He didn't know how to do those things. Floyd identified that even when he was younger. And this is what I try to tell people, because you think certain things show up just in the fight. Nah, these guys been in the gym their whole life. If you have weaknesses in the gym, people know, people see them, people understand them, people can identify them. So Floyd knew his weakness from the jump, and Floyd was trying to explain it to him. And you hear Floyd saying, I want him to break my records, because right now I'm breaking my own records. And you see, despite what people may think, you see how well Tank is doing under the tutelage of Floyd, with the guidance of Floyd, because at the end of the day, Floyd knows what it's like to be an actual fighter trying to sell fights to the public. He understands that. And the team that made Floyd the #1 pay-per-view attraction is now the same team that has made Gervonta Tank Davis one of the top pay-per-view attractions in the sport of boxing. I mean, he was #1 last year. We got to see what he's going to do this year. Consistency is the key, but I do think Tank's going to do good numbers this year. So it's not like Floyd just came out of nowhere with these critiques for Devin. This is something he's been doing ever since he was active and Devin wasn't. And so another thing I want to pull out just for the people who don't understand, right? I'm going to show you some stuff. So this is Floyd and Devin. This is at the Mayweather gym. You can see it on the ropes, Mayweather. Since Devin was a kid. Now, Devin's a kid in the Floyd Mayweather boxing gym, hugged up on the best fighter of his generation. Hands down, I think he's the best fighter. I think he has the claim to TBE. Personally, I think Floyd's the best, most talented fighter I ever seen. There's no knock on anyone else. I'm just keeping it a $150. Like, you got to be honest. Floyd beat all types of styles, including the aggressive styles. Look at the aggressive fighters he's been in the ring with. Canelo, one of the best. Marcos Medina. He did Diego Corrales. Robert the Ghost Guerrero's another good one. Zab Super Judah, Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao. You can't front on Floyd, man. You can say whatever you want, but Floyd's been in there with some of the best aggressive pressure fighters, and he found a way to win. And he's trying to give Devin that advice. And you see, like he said, you can't just be flat-footed. You can't. And you saw the only thing Devin was doing when he got hurt was holding. What about trying to counter? What about trying to counter in between shots? That's one of the first things you learn when you get hurt in a boxing gym. If you can't hold, or if you're really, try to counter in between shots. That's how Andy Ruiz got Anthony Joshua. He got the timing of Anthony Joshua throwing the combination. He threw his last desperation hook in between AJ's counter, and he clipped him. Devin never tried to counter in between Ryan's shots. It was just hold, 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 hold. He never switched the angle and then tried to counter. Pivot out. They say he got the best footwork in the game, right? Where was it? And that's what Floyd was talking about. But again, you see Devin, young Devin, at the Mayweather gym with Floyd. And don't underestimate what Devin being able to get this close to the best fighter of his generation at that age. He gets to watch Floyd do his thing. He's aspiring. Just the wisdom you get. Because even when I'm in the gym and I'm hitting the bag, I see dudes sit around and watch me and then try to copy what I do after. Imagine being able to sit down and watch Floyd work. Watch what he does. How many rounds he hits the speed bag. How long he hits the speed bag. How he hits the speed bag. What he does on the punching bag. Then what he goes and does on the mitts. Then seeing what he does, then seeing his ab routine, seeing what they don't show the cameras. Devin got to see how the sausage was made. That's what they call in the legal profession. When you get to see behind the scenes, when you're a law clerk for a judge, or when you're an attorney, and you go, he got to see how the sausage was made. Pause. But that's what Devin got to see, right? So that made him great, and that's one of the things Floyd was talking about. Okay, so I'm going to show some more stuff, and then we'll dive into it. And I'm going to have to wrap this up quick because I wasn't even going to do a video, but because things were buzzing, I'm hearing so many takes on it. And I have my take, so I'm going to give my take. Yeah. So, anyways, let me share some more stuff with you before we dive in. So here it is right here. Floyd Mayweather begins sparring ahead of Conor McGregor super fight with 6 rounds against 18-year-old Devin Haney. Now we talk about the kid watching the great Floyd, watching how the great Floyd trains, having access to the great Floyd. And then he gets to share the ring with Floyd. And Floyd is sparring for Conor McGregor. So you know Floyd's at the end of his career. Conor McGregor was credited as his last real professional fight. So we all know it's the end of Floyd's career. So if you want to brag about Devin getting off on Floyd when he was an old man and done with it, and Devin is supposed to be the next up-and-coming great thing, then you can go on ahead and do that. But that's what I was saying about Devin being in too many gym wars. Devin did his best to win every sparring session. He did hard sparring since the time he was 16 until now. And you see it hurt his punch resistance. I'm telling you, that hurt his punch resistance because doing hard sparring ruins a fighter. When every time you're doing hard sparring, you're trying to be the gym, you're trying to be undefeated in the gym, you're trying to win gym, you having a war in the gym. That takes its toll on your body. Every fighter has a certain number of punches, every fighter. So you're just expediting your expiration date, having all these gym wars. So they take pride in their gym sessions. Cool. The Haneys take pride in their gym sessions. Cool. Like Mayweather told Bill, you great. You're undefeated in the gym. I'm undefeated under the lights. And under the lights is the only thing that matters. That's what goes on your record. That's what gets you paid. That's what makes you a super. That's what makes you a pay-per-view superstar. So it's great. You want to win every gym war, fine. But I'm telling you, like when I played football, it was the backups who try to shine in practice. The starters, we did our thing. We did our thing. We did what we had to do, but we wasn't going to go all out. There were some players who didn't even have to practice. They were so good, it was like, we're not even going to risk you getting hurt in practice. We know what you're going to do when the lights come on. And if you played basketball and football, you do what you do when you need to. But in basketball, I don't know if you ever seen this. There's those dudes in the layup lines doing windmills, doing tomahawks, doing all this. But then you get in the game and they don't even have the handle, the agility, or the quickness to get to the rim. So they'll never be able to do those dunks. Their time to shine is the layup line. But when the lights come on, they don't have the handle, they don't have the agility, they don't have the quickness to even get to the rim. So all those dunks they were doing was just all that was their moment to shine. So who cares if you're shining in the layup line? Who cares if you're shining in practice? What do you do when the other team has game planned the entire week to stop you? And then you got to perform. Then what you going to do? Because that's when it matters. Okay, so I'm going to show you another video. Well, I'm going to show you another. Yeah, I'm going to show you this and I'm going to show you a video. So here's the thing. Look at what this article says from Pro Box TV. Is Devin Haney the Gen Z version of Floyd Mayweather Jr.? The comparisons have always been there because he grew up in the Mayweather gym. He was always around Floyd. Even here, you'll see there's a picture of that Devin tweeted. Now, Devin tweeted this. It's Devin. Devin tweeted this, and it says, Kobe and Jordan, GOAT. Floyd Mayweather X Devin the Dream. Look, them together. So Devin is saying Kobe and Jordan. Even Devin's making the comparisons. The comparisons to Floyd had always been there, but recently it turned disrespectful because Bill was saying how the Mayweather era is over. It's the Devin Haney era. Now take a look at this. Is Devin doing the mix with Floyd Joy Mayweather Sr. Floyd Joy Mayweather Sr. trained Devin since he was a kid. When he was a kid, he was under the tutelage of Floyd Joy Mayweather Sr. Now, can you imagine how much money it would cost? How much money did it cost Oscar to train with Floyd? How much money did it cost Ricky Hatton to train with Floyd Mayweather Sr.? Devin is getting this as an amateur. He's getting this tutelage from the guy who trained the best fighter of his generation, arguably the best fighter of all time. And now as a kid, this is the guy training him. And look at how he's moving. Can you imagine if he was moving like that in the ring with Ryan? He wouldn't have had to hold. Let me bring it back one time. Look at the way he's moving his torso and his head. Now, if he was moving his torso and his head like that, well, perhaps maybe he could have slipped some hooks and he could have came back with punches instead of holding. Because that's what that drill is all about. People get lost in the power like, oh, he's pity-patting. It's not what that drill's about. That drill's about evading the shot and touching up your fighter, touching up your opponent. Here's another video. I didn't even look at this, but you can just see it's young Dev with Floyd Mayweather Sr. Let me see what Mayweather. So you heard that. He just said Devin's the next Floyd. He dubbed Devin the next Floyd. Floyd Mayweather Sr. at the time he was training him, saying he said, go get him. Go get him under the tutelage of me. Now here it is. Floyd Mayweather Sr. with Devin Haney. Now you see what negative things were the Mayweather saying about Devin and Bill and them. They weren't saying anything negative. They weren't saying anything negative. They were instilling confidence in Devin Haney. They believed in Devin Haney. They taught Devin Haney what they know. You heard Mayweather Sr. himself say, here's my next champion. Here's the next Floyd. He could beat some of the guys in the top 10 right now. Do you know what it does to a 16-year-old's confidence to hear one of the best trainers in the world who trained the best fighter of the generation, the number one pay-per-view attraction, say that, who's teaching you all that? That's priceless. That's priceless information that they gave to Devin. And for all that they gave to Devin, you hear Bill Haney talking that nonsense on that live. Oh, you should be thanking me for what I did for your kids. Why don't you thank him for what he did for your son? Bro, I can tell you, seeing someone do their thing. Like some of my mentees, they're not even that much younger than me. They're about 4 or 5 years younger than me. They saw me do my thing as a lawyer, and then now they're lawyers. Just from seeing it, just from watching it, just from being that close to it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. That's the influence. But the main thing I want to touch on about this whole situation that disturbed me is, why is Bill Haney talking in street stuff? Floyd gets on. If you have issues with Floyd, or you feel like Floyd was trying to hold back your career, if you feel like Floyd he didn't prioritize your son or whatever, why not say those things? Why do you got to bring it to the streets? You try to disrespect Floyd, and Floyd says, I'm 50-0 under the lights, and you go, I'm 50-0 in the streets, whatever. That's that ad hominem. I got no response. I'm hurt, so I'm just going to say something that's completely unrelated to the conversation discussion. The reality is Bill Haney was the one running around saying that the Floyd Mayweather era is over. He was the one running around saying that Devin Haney beat Floyd 6 rounds to nothing in the sparring session. That you just saw was before the Conor McGregor fight, when Floyd was old and done. And even the Conor McGregor fight, Floyd gave away rounds until it was time to capitalize. So just like I never gave Tank credit for hurting and buzzing a young Devin, I'm not going to give Devin credit for beating on an old Floyd Mayweather. What are we talking about? And this is what gets on my nerves, because there'll be people in the comment section like, how can you talk about another black man like this? How can Bill Haney talk to Floyd like that? You're cool with that. Then I see the people, you go to them yes men channels who push the propaganda, and they're like, oh, Bill had to put Floyd in his place. How could Bill put Floyd in his place? Floyd Mayweather has beaten more champions than any fighter in the history of boxing. Check. Floyd Mayweather has sold more pay-per-views than any other fighter in the history of boxing. Check. The checks Devin Haney waits on, Floyd Mayweather can write them himself and give it to Devin. What are you talking about? How can Bill check Floyd? And if Bill's going to pull this spin stuff with Floyd, why would you ever listen to anything that comes out of Bill's mouth? For real. Floyd got on to see him. Yeah. People are like, oh, he was doing it to embarrass Bill. No, he wasn't. Because he invested in that kid, whether people want to admit it or not. Excuse me. Floyd invested in Devin. Devin grew up in his gym. They didn't make Bill pay for everything. Do you know how much it would have cost if they made Bill pay for all the time that Devin got to train with Floyd, Joy Mayweather Sr.? And do you think Floyd, Joy Mayweather Sr. doesn't feel like it was a robbery when you take Devin from him and you got him running around with these other trainers to the point where Floyd's like, go ahead and keep doing it? Because what ends up happening is you become a man of many skills, but a master of nothing. At least if he was working with Floyd that whole time, Floyd Mayweather Sr., that whole time, he would have mastered the defensive style of fighting, react, counter, all that stuff. You take him here, then he learns a little bit here. You take him here, and he learns a bit there, and then he doesn't master nothing. So then when he's in a firefight where high-speed chess won't work, where being a better boxer won't work, because anytime this dude throws something, he's going to hurt you. You got to bite down on your gum shield, or else he couldn't hack it. He couldn't hack it. And that's the reality. So everyone's saying, oh, Floyd came. Nah, it's deeper than that. The Floyd Mayweather family, specifically Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Sr., invested in Devin Haney. And then he disrespected them. Bill Haney disrespected them, among disrespecting several other people, but he disrespected them. And so you can't sit around and be like, oh, Floyd was being petty. Oh, Floyd wanted him to kiss the ring. Floyd didn't want him. Floyd don't need Bill to kiss the ring, bro. Floyd is good. Floyd to do an exhibition and make more money than Devin did in his last 3 fights combined. What are y'all talking about? But, I know, I get it. Reality doesn't matter to the fanboys. So, yeah, we got to put that in its proper context. I'm tripping. I forgot about that because I try to warn the fans about Devin Haney being chinny, and then they all got mad at me. So anyways, I got to show you this video, and then I'm going to dip out. Actually, I stayed longer than I anticipated. You know what I mean? But that shouldn't be an issue. All right. So check this out. This is Andre Ward talking about how sometimes the plan has to go out of the window and you got to be prepared to fight. So he's talking about when he fought Edison Miranda. Listen.
And I really wasn't trying to fight, bro. Like, he wasn't the first option. It's like, that's one of them ones. Like, it's certain guys you sign to fight, you know it's going to be a long night or a short night if you're not careful. And I remember Verge told me, he said, Dre, part of taking a punch is mental. I'm like, what you mean? And I had got rocked early in my career, so the rumor around me was he ain't got no chin. That was the rumor, right? Now I'm fighting this dude, and I'm talking about dude could crack. Like, that's still to this day the hardest puncher I've ever fought. And he said, part of taking a punch is mental. It's a mindset. And I was like, what you mean? He said, make up your mind right now. And no matter what he hits you with, you ain't going nowhere. And it shows you the power of the mind. And I beat him, but if I look back at that fight, dude hit me a couple times, you could hear smack. A couple times, boom, I would take the shot, and I came right back, and I didn't even think about it, right? And I paid for it after. Because when that adrenaline came down, oh my God. Bro, that's the worst I ever felt after a fight. So that was my moment of graduation, and that let me know the power of my mind. Bro, I walked through some stuff that to this day, I don't know how I walked through it. And he told me after, bro, you took a good shot. So there's a physical component, there's a spiritual component, but it's a mindset, man. If your mind is in line with your work ethic, is in line with the physical work you're putting in, come on, bro. It's going to be hard to stop you. It's going to be hard to stop you.
Oh, man, amazing words from Andre Ward. Now, just imagine if Andre Ward was in Devin Haney's corner when he got hurt that first round. Imagine if Verge was in his corner. Imagine if Floyd was in his corner. Listen, all I'm saying to you is Bill Haney was just telling Devin to hold. But holding is only delaying the inevitable. You need to stop the bleeding. You need to stop the bleeding. And like Ward said, and this is what I've been saying, you got to make up in your mind when boxing isn't working that you're going to land something that's going to get your respect. And Devin never made up his mind to do that. And you saw the one time he landed that hook, and I forget the round. He landed a good hook, and Garcia went back. I don't think Garcia was really hurt, but that's when Garcia was like, okay, I got to respect him a little bit, and he never capitalized. That was his moment to stand on it. Like, yo, I'm the, if you're going to knock me out, if you're going to keep dropping me, you're going to get some back. So come get it. And he didn't do it. He went right back to trying to box. But think about when Kovalev dropped Andre Ward and Ward got back up. I'm a straight up Andre Ward fan, SOG, love him, watched all his fights. And I was like, yo, oh my God, I was worried. And I remember they put the camera on Verge, and Verge was like, you got up. Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, they got up. You got up. Go. He gave him. He put it in his. He immediately, just in saying what he said, he brought Andre Ward back to the times he saw all the great fighters he admired get up off the deck and pull off the improbable. And that's exactly what he did in that fight, because Verge knew how to say all the things he needed to hear. Lastly, Floyd Mayweather. I believe it was Mario Barrios and Gervonta Davis. Mario Barrios was winning that fight. And Floyd ran to Gervonta's corner and said, I believe it was that fight. It could have been, I think it was Barrios' fight. Like I said, I didn't. So Floyd ran to the corner and said, come on, baby. I'm telling you the truth. They got you losing. I need you to win this. You could do this. Floyd went in there and gave him that encouragement. And what did Gervonta do? He responded. Because you got to know what to say to a fighter. And you either got to be a great, all-time great trainer, or you got to be a former fighter who's been in that moment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Think of Angelo Dundee. You're blowing it, son. Think of Goosen. Goosen with Corrales versus Castillo. When the mouthpiece came out, he said, you got to get inside on him now. He wasn't even supposed to give him that instruction. He said, you got to get in on him now. Like, you got to, that's what you need in your corner, bro. That's what you need in your corner. Okay? So if you want to call Floyd a hater for calling that out, that's fine. That's fine. But that's the truth. That's real. Okay? So to me, after watching that, Bill just embarrassed himself, taking it to the streets, talking about people's kids a certain way, acting like he's some money. At the end, Bill Haney's in his second childhood. Bill Haney is living vicariously through Devin, acting like he's the fighter. I don't know if he's trying to do the street cred stuff for Devin or for himself. But like Floyd said, you got to watch the people you have around you. The people Devin has around him were the same people around Deontay when he got cooked, the same people around Spence when he got cooked. They around Devin, and now Devin just got cooked. Sometimes, man, being a man is assessing the situation and making some changes. Anthony Joshua did it after his loss. He was able to bounce back. If I was Devin, I'd be considering some serious stuff. Anyway, I got to run. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm out. Peace.